Now let me see this problem. The armature of a 4-pole lap wound DC machine has a core length of 45 centimeters. The length is given, core length, nothing but armature core length. The diameter of the armature core is given 50 centimeters. The total number of conductors Z is given 500. The speed of a motor is given, that is n equal to 1200 rpm. Armature current is given, nothing but armature current 25 amperes. The average flux density is given, average flux density B is given, average value is given. That average value equal to flux divided by total flux divided by area. Area is given. Tesla, this unit is, it is given Webers per meter square. 1 Weber per meter square equal to 1 Tesla. So here this value is given 0.6. This value is given 0.6. The area, when you are going to find out this area, nothing but this one. This, if you cut and open this armature, this area becomes a pi d into length. A d in centimeter, it is also in centimeter. To convert into the meters, into 10 to the power of minus 4, into 10 to the power of minus 4. Now the area, this one, area. The surface area of a, this is nothing but a surface area of a armature. The surface area of a armature in meter square. In meter square. Now you substitute the values here. Pi into d value is given 50 into, this is given, the length of the core length is given 45 into 10 to the power of minus 4, 10 to the power of minus 4. Now this value becomes a pi into 50 into 45 equal to divided by 1000. You are getting the 0.7068 meter square. This is the area. Now you have to calculate the flux. Flux equal to, now this flux equal to pi equal to B average into area. This area. At this area you take this value. This is equal to 0.6 into 0.7068. Now we are getting the value in Webers into 0.6 into 0.68. You are getting the value in Webers 0.424 Webers. Now initially we calculated the flux per pole. Now we have to calculate the, find the average flux is given, find the electromagnetic power developed and internal torque. Electromagnetic power developed and internal torque. So first we are finding the internal torque. Internal torque is nothing but armature torque. Armature torque equal to, in case of DC motor, the armature torque, we have a direct formula, that is 1 by 2 pi Z pi Ia into P by A. This is the one derivation. The torque developed in a DC motor. Now you substitute all the values. Now this is equal to 1 by 2 pi into total number of conductors are given. How many conductors are there? Total number of conductors 500. Flux per pole just now we calculated 0.424 into armature current. Armature current is given 25. Number of poles is given 4 pole divided by number of parallel paths. See here it is given that armature of a 4 pole lap wounded. It is given in the problem lap wounded. Nothing but a here 4. This 4 gets a value becomes a 4. This 4 gets cancelled. If we solve this one, four to 4 into 25, we are getting the 843.52 Newton meter. You are getting the value as a, this is direct formula is there. Armature torque or gross torque or internal torque developed in a motor, that is equal to 1 by 2 pi into Z pi Ia into P by A. Substitute all the values. Here in the problem it is given the lap winding, so A value becomes a 2. If you complete the calculation, finally you are getting the value as a this much. Finally you are getting the value as a 843.52 Newton meter. That is the torque. See here, find the electromagnetic power. Once you know the torque, there is a one relation between the power and the torque. So power equal to torque into angular velocity of a armature. So power equal to armature power Pa equal to T into omega. See here we know the value of Ta, that is 843.52 into omega, nothing but 2 pi n by 60. 2 pi n by 60. You substitute all the values, you are getting the answer in a watts. Getting the answer in a watts. That you have to work out. See, in this manner, you can calculate the how much power is developed in a motor. How much power is developed in a motor. See, initially we are calculating the torque. From the torque, we are using the relation, that is the armature power equal to torque into angular velocity of a armature, that is omega. That is omega equal to 2 pi n by 60. The speed of a motor is given, that is 1200 rpm. The DC machine, the speed of DC machine is given 1200 rpm. In this case, we have taken this machine as a DC motor. So whenever in the problem it is called the machine, means it is a motor or the generator. But here we are considering as a motor, then only you can use this formula. In generator also you can use it, but we are considering this machine as a motor. We found the armature torque. So in this manner, you have to solve this problem. Now, a DC shunt motor is running at a 1200 rpm. It has an armature resistance of 0.15 ohm. The current taken by the armature is 60 amperes. When applied voltage is 220 volts. If the load is increased by 30%, find the variation in the speed. Initially there is some amount of load on the motor. Now the load on the motor will be increased by 30%. What is the variations in a speed? Whether the speed is increasing or decreasing. No doubt in that one. If the load on the motor is increases, the speed of the motor also will be decreases. That we are going to see mathematically now. Now here, A shunt motor is running. First you have to draw the diagram. This is a shunt motor. Whenever it is showing the motor inside of the circle, you have to mention it is a motor. The field winding is there. This is the field winding. This is the field winding. The armature resistance of 0.15 ohm and current taken by the armature is 60 amperes. 60 amperes from the voltage 220 volts. 220 volts. And this motor is running at a 1200 RPM in this case. First case. See here, no data is given to the shunt field winding. So, we are assuming that the current flowing through the shunt field is 0. Whatever the current is flowing here, that is equal to the armature current. That is equal to the armature current. Now here, you apply the KVL in this loop. If you apply the KVL, you can calculate the back EMF. EB equal to ZN, sorry, EB equal to V minus IA RA. We are neglecting the brush voltage drop because the brush voltage drop is not given. We are neglecting the brush voltage drop. See, once we neglect the brush voltage drop, this value becomes a 220 minus 60 into armature resistance is given 0.15. See, here we are getting the value as 220 minus 60 into 0.15. We are getting the voltage 211 volts. The back EMF is in first case. The speed of the motor is this much. The speed of the motor in the first case is 1200. It is given in the problem. So, the speed of the motor is directly proportional to the back EMF. See here, it is directly proportional to the back EMF. It is directly proportional to the back EMF. This data is given in the problem. The second case, this is case 1. In second case, the load on the motor is increased by the 30%. So, whenever the load on the motor is increased by 30% means the line current becomes a, see here, now the line current equal to armature current in this case because we neglected the shunt field current. Now, this is equal to 1.3 times the previous current. 30% of the previous one. So, that's why you have to multiply the 1.3. 1.3. Now, here you are getting the armature current as a 78 amperes. Now, you have to find out the back EMF in second case. Now, the back EMF in a motor in second case EB2 equal to V minus IA2 RA. This value take it as IA2. Now, this is equal to 220 minus 78 into RA value becomes a 0.15. Now, we are getting as a 208.33 volts. 208.3 volts. Now, in this case, we are assuming that the motor will be running at a speed of N2, nothing but N2 is proportional to the EB2. N2 is proportional to the EB2. Now take the ratio between the EB2 to the EB1. If we take the ratio between the EB2 to the EB1, EB2 by EB1 equal to N2 by N1. N2 by N1. Now we want to find out the N2. So we know the value of EB1. How much is the EB1? Is substitute all the values. EB2 value becomes a 208.3. EB1 becomes a 211 equal to N2 by N1. The N1 value is given 1200. Now you cross multiply this one and calculate the value. N2 equal to 1200 into 208.3 divided by 211. You are getting the value as the motor will be running at a 1184.64 RPM. This is very, very important. See here, as the mechanical load on the motor is increased, in the first case, the motor is taking 60 amperes of current. It is running at a 1200 RPM. The mechanical load on the motor is increased by 30%. Mechanical load on the motor is increased by 30%. As the mechanical load is increases, the speed of the motor will be decreases. So the back EMF value will be decreases when compared to the previous case, compared to the first case. Now if you find the speed of a motor, if you calculate the speed of motor, you are getting the value as a 1184.64 RPM. Nothing but the speed of the motor will be decreases as the mechanical load on the motor is increased. Now let me take up this problem. A 11 kilowatt 240 volt shunt motor has an armature resistance of 0.5 ohms and field resistance of 200 ohm. At no load and rated voltage, the speed is 1250 rpm and armature current is 3 amperes. Armature current is 3 amperes. At a full load at rated voltage, the line current is 48 amperes, and because of the armature reaction, the flux is 4% less than the no load value. Determine the developed torque at no load and full load speed and developed torque at a full load. This is very, very important model problem. So let us see step by step. Okay. See here the motor is given a shunt motor. Draw the circuit diagram of shunt motor. This is the shunt motor. How much current is taken at no load? Here the two cases are there. One is no load, another one is the full load. At no load, it is taking a current of, see here, 3 amperes. 3 amperes of current is taking. And field resistance is given, shunt field resistance 200 ohms. And armature resistance is given 0.5 ohms. This is the motor. At what speed it is running? It is running at a speed of 1250 at no load. This is very, very important. That is first case. In case 2, same motor, see here, I am going to draw the same motor. again shunt field winding, again shunt field winding. Here it is taking a current of, see here, 240 volts. In both cases 240 volt only, there is no change in the input voltage, 240 volts. Second case line current is 48 amperes. Armature resistance is 0.5 ohm, there is no change. Shunt field resistance is 200 ohm, again there is no change. Again there is no change. But in first case, the input voltage also the 240. Here input voltage is 240. But this is the speed of the motor. This is the speed of the motor. That you take it as a N naught, nothing but a no load speed. But in this second case, they are not given that what is the speed maintained by the motor at a full load. This is the circuit diagram at a full load. Full load. This is at no load, this is at a full load. Now first we are calculating the what is the back EMF in a no load. In the motor, back EMF EB naught equal to nothing but a back EMF in a DC motor at no load, not in nothing but at no load. That is equal to V minus IA naught into RA if we neglect the brush voltage drop. Brush voltage drop. Because the brush voltage drop data is not given in the problem. So here 240 minus IA naught. See the shunt field current you have to calculate. So how much current is flowing here? 240 volts you are applying. So 240 divided by 200, this resistance is equal to 1.2 amperes of current is flowing here. 1.2. Now the armature current equal to 3 minus, see I naught equal to 3 minus 1.2. 3 minus 1.2. See here how much you are getting means 3 minus 1.2, you are getting the 1.8 into armature resistance 0.5. Armature resistance 0.5. So EB not equal to, if you calculate this value, you are getting the value as 240 minus 1.8 into 0.5. You are getting the value as 239.1 volt. At this voltage, the speed of the motor is 12.1250. That you take it as a N naught, no load speed. That you take it as a no load speed. Leave it. Next, in second case, again you are finding the back EMF in a motor. EB1, the back EMF at a full load. Second case is nothing but a full load. That is equal to, here in shunt field the same amount of current is flowing, 1.2. Now the armature current becomes a 4.8 minus 1.2. Sorry, 48 minus 1.2. You are getting the value 46.8 amperes. 46.8 amperes. Now the EB1 equal to input voltage minus IA1 RA, nothing but a 240 minus IA1 becomes a 46.8 into RA 0.5. If we calculate this value, if we simplify this value, we are getting the voltage 240 minus 46.8 into 0.5, we are getting the value 216.6 volts. This is proportional to N2. Nothing but a speed of a motor in a at a full load. That we does not know. That we have to calculate. See here back EMF. Next, the first case. In the first case, the flux in a motor The flux, first case, no load, nothing but first case, no load, the flux in a motor, you take it as a pi naught. That you take it as a pi naught. In second case, it is given that pi 1 equal to nothing but a flux in second case, pi 1 equal to see, the flux is 4% is less than the no load flux value. 4% is lesser. 4% is less means 0.96 times the no load flux. This is 0.96 times the no load flux. No load flux you take it as a pi naught. No load flux you are taking it as a pi naught. Now we know the relation between the speeds of a motor, that is, see here, N1 by N0 equal to EB1 by EB0 into pi naught by pi 1. Nothing but the speed of the motor is directly proportional to the back EMF, whereas inversely proportional to the flux coming from the motor. Just we use this formula. Right? Two cases, one is no load, another one is the full load. Now we are finding the value of N1. N1 is nothing but speed of a motor at a full load. Now that is equal to EB1 divided by EB0 into pi naught divided by pi 1 into no load speed. Now the speed at a full load equal to EB1 value becomes a, see here, EB1 value becomes a 216 point, substitute all the values, divided by no load voltage, that we are getting as a, how much value are getting? I think we are not simplified this one. 240 minus, here you are simplified, 239.1. 239.1 into pi naught. So we have taken the pi naught, here pi naught, divided by 0.96 pi naught into no load speed. The no load speed is nothing but a 1250 RPM. Now this pi naught gets cancelled. Now the speed of a motor at a full load equal to, if we simplify this one, you are getting the value as 1250 into 216.6 equal to divided by 239.1 equal to divided by 0.96. You are getting the value. See here, the speed of the motor becomes a 1179.55 RPM. This much of speed is maintained by the motor in a full load. See here, full load speed is calculated. Now developed torque. So developed torque at a full load, see here, developed torque at full load, here I am telling, developed torque at full load, TA1, nothing but a developed torque at a full load, that is equal to EB1 into IA1 divided by that is the electrical equivalent of the mechanical power developed in a motor. This power divided by the angular velocity of a motor, in this case nothing but a 2 pi n by 60. See here, n is nothing but n1. Already we know the value of EB1. EB1 value becomes, you substitute all the values, 216.6 into IA1 value becomes a 46.8 divided by 2 into pi into 2 into pi into, see here, n1 becomes a 1179 1179.8 divided by 60. You simplify this one, you are getting the answer for the developed torque at a full load. In the same manner, if you want to find out the developed torque at no load means, again the no load torque you take it as a TA naught, that is equal to EB naught into IA naught divided by angular velocity of a motor at no load. Now this is equal to EB naught value becomes a 239.1 into IA naught value becomes a, see here, already we calculated the IA naught. IA naught, how much is IA naught? 1.8 divided by 2 into pi into n. Speed in a no load 1250 divided by 60. If we solve this one, we are getting the developed torque in a motor at a no load, that we are getting the value in a Newton meter. That you have to solve it. Okay. Just let me summarize this problem. This is a very, very important model problem. See here, it is given that 11 kilowatt 240 volt shunt motor has a armature resistance of 0.5 ohm and field resistance of 200 ohm. The data is given. The no load current taken by the motor is given. The speed of the motor is given. Right? So from that data we calculate the EB naught. At no load we have taken the flux per pole, we have taken as a pi naught. Flux per pole we have taken as a pi naught. It is a no load flux. Right? Next, at full load we calculated the motor is taking the 48 amperes of current. At full load we calculate the back EMF. From the back EMF, again he has given the one more information for the flux at full load. So when the armature current is increases, because of the armature current, the flux also will be decreases. So in the second case, the flux coming from the pole that we have taken the pi 1, that is equal to how much it is decreasing means it is decreased by the 4% less than the no load flux. We have taken the no load flux as a pi naught. So here 4% less means 0.96 times the pi naught. Pi 1 equal to 0.965 times the pi naught. We know the relation between the speeds at a no load at any value of load. So we use this relation and calculate the value of N1. N1 is nothing but a speed of a motor at a full load. Once you know the speed of a motor at full load, then we can calculate the armature torque developed at a full load, that is equal to EB1 into IA1 divided by 2 pi N1 by 60. EB1 is nothing but a back EMF in a motor at full load. IA1 is nothing but a armature current in a motor at full load divided by 2 pi N1 is nothing but a speed of a motor at full load divided by 60. We are getting the, if we solve this one, we are getting the value in Newton meters. In the same manner, you have to calculate the developed torque at no load. To find the developed torque at no load, now the no load armature torque equal to EB naught into I naught, IA naught by omega naught. Again we have used the same formula at no load. Now EB naught value, already we calculated this value, that is 239.1 into 1.8 divided by 2 into pi into, this is the no load speed divided by 60. So finally you are getting the value in a Newton meters. So in this manner you have to find out the how much is the torque developed in a motor. This is the one of the important model problem. Okay. This is one more important model problem. Now let me see how we are going to solve this one. A 15 kilowatt 230 volt shunt generator having a armature resistance of 0.15 ohm and a field resistance of 230 ohms delivers full load at a rated voltage and 750 rpm. 750 rpm. The machine now runs as a motor while it is taking a 15 kilowatt at 230 volts. What is the speed of a motor? The same machine initially it is operating as a generator. So as it is generator, this much of power is given. This much of power is given. Now the same machine, second case we are operating as a motor. So first you draw the equivalent circuit of a shunt generator. This is the shunt generator. So how much power here? The load power becomes a 15 kilowatt at 230 volts. This is generator. And armature resistance is given 0.15 ohm, whereas shunt field resistance is given 230 ohms. Now second case, now the same machine is operated as a motor. When it is operated as a motor, the same machine now it is a now the direction of the current will be changes. Now this is the direction of the current. Now it is a line current. So how much input power is given? See here how much output power is given by the generator. The same amount of power is given. Nothing but a 15 kilowatt at a 230 volts. That is the input power is given to the motor. The same, there is no change here. This is 230 volts. This is the 0.15 ohm. Now this is the armature current. This is the armature current here. This is the field current. This is the field current. The first case is the generator, and whereas second case is the motor. Second case is the motor. They asked to find out. See here. While taking this much of power and load, what is the speed of a motor? Neglect the brush voltage drop. Neglect the brush voltage drop. So in this case, as a generator, so how much speed it is rotating? It is given, that is 750 rpm. As a generator, the armature will be running at a 750 rpm. So as a generator, first you have to calculate the generated voltage. Now generated voltage Vg equal to, as a generator, see here the generated voltage Vg equal to, see here output voltage, if you apply the KVL in this loop, V plus IA RA. V plus IRA. As a generator, see here I have taken the VG as a generator. Nothing but this is nothing but you take it as a EG as a generator. EG, generated voltage. EG. EG equal to V plus IRA if you neglect the brush voltage drop. If you neglect the brush voltage drop. See here. Now to find the armature current, you have to calculate the shunt current. Shunt current equal to the voltage across the shunt field divided by the shunt field resistance, nothing but 230 by 230. Here 1 ampere of current is flowing here. 1 ampere of current is flowing. Now the load current becomes as a generator. Now the load current equal to, see here, the load is taking a power of 15 kilowatt. So here you have to calculate the load current. Now the load current equal to IL equal to 15 kilowatt divided by 230. You are getting the value as 65.12 amperes. Now the armature current equal to load current plus shunt field current. This is equal to 65.12 plus 1 ampere. You are getting the 66.12 amperes. 66.12 ampere. Now you substitute this value here. Now if you solve this one, you are getting the voltage as a 230 plus 230 plus 66.12 into armature resistance 0.15. We are getting the EG value. See here, I have taken the EG value here, generated voltage. EG value, how much you are getting means 230 plus 66.12 into 0.15, you're getting the value as 239.918 volts. 918 volts. Now, as a generator, now we are calculating the back EMF as a motor. This is in a generator. Now we are calculating the back EMF. Now here the back EMF is nothing but here the back EMF, EB. Apply the KVL in this loop. Apply the KVL in this loop. See here, already we calculated the value of IL. The same amount of current flowing here, supplied by the motor also, 65.12 amperes. So how you are going to calculate this means this power divided by this voltage giving the this current 65.12 amperes. The shunt is taking a current of 1 ampere of current. 1 ampere of current. Now the armature current equal to, in this case, the armature current equal to armature current in a motor equal to 65.12 minus 1. You are getting the 64.12 amperes. 64.12 amperes in case of motor. In case of motor. Now we are going to calculate the back EMF. EB equal to, apply the KVL here. You are getting the value as EB equal to V minus IA RA. Now this is equal to 230 minus IA value. Just now we got the value 64.12 into RA 0.15. 0.15. Now EB becomes a EB equal to 220.385 volts. But here the machine is a shunt machine. Even though the machine is operating as a motor, a generator, it is taking the same amount of field current. The flux is constant. The flux is constant. Once the flux is constant, now you are taking the your EB. See here, EG is directly proportional to speed of a generator, that is 750. Now back EMF, EB is directly proportional to the speed of a motor, that you take it as N. This is the equation 1. This is the equation 2. Now you take the ratio between these two and find the value of N. So whenever you are taking the ratio between these two, already we know the value of EG. Here I am writing. So whenever you are taking the ratio here, now n equal to, so how much you are getting? N equal to EB divided by EG into 750. Now EB value becomes a, how much is the EB? Okay, this one, 220.385 divided by EG value becomes a, here we calculate the EG value, is equal to 239.918, 231.918 into 750. If this one, you are getting the 220 divided by 231.918 equal to into 750. This is equal to 711.4 RPM. As a generator, it is running, armature will be running at a 750 RPM, which is giving output power of 15 kilowatt at a 230 volts. The same machine is operating as a motor. It is taking the same amount of power, that, but the motor will be running at a lesser speed. That is the, how much speed means, see here, 711.4 RPM. See, in this manner, we try to pick up some of the concepts from the problematic. The same machine, same input power we are giving to the motor, but the motor will be running at a lesser speeds.